Breaking news, we start with a home destroyed by an early morning blaze. Someone spotted flames at the home on Bridget Drive in Murfreesboro just before 2 o'clock. This story only about 5 hours old now. Luckily, the family that lived there had just moved out. Investigators believe it started up in the attic of the home. It appears to have been started by some kind of electrical problem, but they're still trying to sort that out.
And two teenagers shot just minutes and miles apart. Now a 14-year-old girl dead and a 15-year-old boy is in the hospital. Our Matthew Torres at Vanderbilt, where one of those teens is now fighting for his life. And Matthew, any update on that condition right now?
Well, we know that teen was sent here to Vanderbilt. He remains here after being treated for critical injuries. And at last check, he was in critical condition, but stable. And he was even responsive enough yesterday, though, to talk to detectives about this shooting. Now, this happened around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon near the Pearl Cone High School. Police say the shooting happened over a drug deal. The teenager approached a black SUV, possibly a Chevy Tahoe, to deal marijuana when one of the people inside that vehicle fired shots at this teenager. He was shot at least once, and witnesses say the shooter left again in a large black SUV. And what makes it difficult this morning is that really that's the only type of description that we got from police. They don't have a specific suspect description. However, we've learned not too long ago that detectives will continue to conduct interviews later today in hopes to find leads and get them to this shooter. If you have information that can help them out, call Crime Stoppers at 615-74-CRIME. We are live at Vanderbilt Medical Center. I'm Matthew Torres, News Channel 5.
Matthew, thank you. And then, of course, the other shooting he was talking about just minutes after the shooting at Pearl Cone, a 14-year-old girl was shot twice in the chest during an argument with another teen at the J.C. Napier housing development. Trayvonte Burleson was rushed to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. And Twana Smith is now in custody. She told police she did it because Trayvonte disrespected her family.
That's not something that you or I would have heard of when we were teenagers. Yet we have teenagers today attempting to resort to violence to settle what is seemingly a simple conflict.
Smith is charged with criminal homicide. We're told she just turned 18 years old.
New this morning for you, a man is recovering after being shot in the leg in Antioch. Details are still kind of sketchy on this. Officers found the victim, though, on Harper Ridge Place just before 11. We're told the guy's going to be all right. No word if they've got any suspects or any arrests made at this point.
The woman charged with killing a mother will face a judge today. Investigators think Paige Elliott and several others shot and killed Olympia Hobbs during an attempted robbery last month. We're told Hobbs was ambushed at her home on Hopewood Court after answering a knock at the door. And her 2 children were also home at the time. They weren't hurt. Elliott is charged with criminal homicide, and more arrests are expected.
Former U.S. Senator and well-known actor Fred Thompson will be laid to rest Friday. He passed away from lymphoma Sunday at his Nashville home. He began as a lawyer in his hometown of Lawrenceburg before going on to the U.S. Senate. The Republican also briefly ran for president back in 2008, as you'll remember, and he was a fixture on the TV drama Law and Order and appeared in countless movies as well, including The Hunt for Red October. A public service is taking place at the War Memorial Auditorium in Nashville Friday at 10 o'clock. Family and friends will then travel down to Lawrenceburg for a hometown tribute where a private burial will follow. Fred Thompson was 73 years old.
The Bluegrass State has a new governor this morning. Businessman Matt Bevin, with 52% of the vote, defeated the state's current Attorney General, Jack Conway. Now, the win was a surprise since Conway has been leading in the polls up until Election Day. Bevin is now the second Republican Kentucky governor in more than 4 decades. And it wasn't just him. GOP candidates won many of the state offices. We have a complete list of election results on our website, newschannel5.com. Boy, this is the story that everybody's talking about this morning.
After serving as head coach for the Tennessee Titans for only 23 games, well, the Titans have shown Coach Ken Whisenhunt the door. This season alone, the team has gone 1-6, just like last season. Started looking good and then just kind of fell apart. Lost 4 games in a row at Nissan Stadium. Overall, he's 3-20 at the helm. Taking over as the interim head coach is going to be the tight ends coach and the assistant coach right now, Mike Mularkey, who does have previous head coaching experience. Jonathan Hutton breaks down now what comes next for the franchise a little bit later in sports.